Congrats with the viewing yesterday. Was it the first? Was the premiere outside of Sweden?
Yeah, that's the first time films. Oh yeah, it's the first time outside of Sweden.
How
It's a
was
world
it?
premiere.
How did people respond to it? Like you wanted them?
Yeah, definitely. For the boring in the beginning, I was a little kind of scared that people won't follow because it's in the movies a slang, Swedish slang versus Swedish, literally Swedish. But people followed. All jokes went.
Yeah, thank God we have subtitles. So.
Yeah, it's English and it's quite good subtitles. But
and did you know all the slang that was spoken in the movie?
Of course. I don't know actually the English slang, which is translated now in the subs, this kind of slang. I don't know, which is because it's in English. But the Swedish slang, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't grow up in Sweden, right?
No, I'm born in former Yugoslavia, in Croatia, and during the war in ex-Yugoslavia, we moved to Sweden.
So what age were you then?
I was 15.
15. So you had slang from Croatia, and then you moved to Sweden, and
well, actually no. I only this kind of slang we have in Sweden. In Swedish, it's more like Swedish slang, but it's very influenced like with the French, Turkish, Arabic, former Yugoslavian languages. So it's a very cool mix, and English, of course.
And I was at the viewing yesterday, and I really liked you telling the story about the idea of the film. Can you share it with our audience? How did you came up with the idea?
Yeah, the idea comes up. It's at different levels when you write. Like first you start write. We just kind of first get the idea, and a main character in the movie, Jan Demirtas, is as well a co-writer of this movie. We wrote it together. So one of the stories is it's about a guy who writes, but he don't know that he's good at writing. He just writes a diary, and when he loses the his diary, it comes ends up in the publisher's hands, and who wants to publish it, but he can't publish it because in the diary he just wrote what he do with his friends, and the all stuff is definitely not legal, you know. So and the diary, a friend of mine. I know him since I been moved to Sweden like for so many years, and I learned Swedish with him, and we went to all cool concerts together and did a lot of stuff together, and used to in the end share apartment in Stockholm together. And it happened that he got the cancer, and he passed away very quickly. And then after a while, I have still contact with his family, and I met his mother for a dinner. And she started telling me stuff that we did, me and him, but that's stuff you definitely don't tell your mother.
Like what?
Know?
Like what?
Well, kind of stuff we did, strange things we did. Just I think.
Very vague, strange things.
Yeah, stuff you
do as a teenager.
As a teenager, as
yes.
a young.
You definitely don't tell your mom.
Yeah, and she knew that, and it was like I was really nervous. And then she told me, yeah, he was writing a diary. And he was the last person in the world I would think that at least writes, like can write, you know. So that's one of the stories. Then the other story is we talked about a lot about our society. And now I'm talking only about Swedish society because I don't know exactly how things are here. We live so close to each other, like different kind of society classes, but we know so little about each other, and in the end we almost have a different language. So we thought it's a very funny if what we want to say to people is like talk to each other, learn about each other, then your prejudice and stereotypes will sink down, and for us we laugh about it, but when you make a movie then that's something different. You can get a lot of trouble. But we really wanted to talk about things which nobody wants to talk about because it's kind of taboo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it needs to be told.
And like what kind of things do you mean then?
No, but it's only the thing that you make, you have a main character which comes from a suburb and he do crime stuff. He's in the beginning. He's a criminal. That's not politically correct to do, and then a lot of people, a lot of movie makers don't want to tell that kind of stories because it shows a bad picture of in this case, the immigrants, you know. But that's completely wrong. We think everything has to be told as it is. It has to be true. Okay, truth. Abbe, how you say sanning? Truth.
Yeah.
The truth,
Truth.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and we want to show that the world is never like black and white. You have to show the whole picture, and then you will realize in the end it's all about the human beings. It doesn't matter what kind of social class you come from, and in the end you will understand. I think you should get a bigger picture of the humanity today, and we're grown according to one old Chinese rule of what's the good drama, what's the good story. It says there's three rules. Number one, the one who wants to know how is to be human today should know that. Two, the one who wants to know what's the world we're living in today, how's the world, should know that. And third rule is you should entertain even one drunk.
Well, I think you succeeded. You followed the rules.
Yes. And we even like this Godard thing, you know. He said that he was shooting the movie, he shot the movie, but there was a lot of scenes he didn't like, but he has to have them in the story to explain to people so people will understand. And then when he was editing, he said, every scene I don't like, I will just throw it out, even if it tells like very important it tells something very important about story so you can follow later, you know. I don't care. So we thought like, this is a really good idea. Let's just take only stuff we like, only stuff we'll laugh at, only stuff we think it's important, and not like stuff which says, now he's his son and he's his daughter and that's a connection. All this explanation, just threw it away. So that's what we did. And in the end, we had not so many scenes to shoot, but all the scenes are in the movie.
How long did the shooting take?
20 days plus 3 completion days.
Yeah.
22 days.
And you
22
wrote the scenario with the main character,
yes.
right?
But for the first time, I haven't been thinking having him in the. No.
Because you worked earlier together.
Yeah. We work. We work every day almost. We write together and work together. But he's really good. So while we were doing castings, I know he's good, but I couldn't tell him like you will be playing this role. Then in the end, I changed my mind. There could be misunderstandings. So I didn't say anything. It just when we started doing the castings, I asked him to play against some other guys. And then you could say that he's the guy. He's really the guy.
Where did you meet?
We met he has been in a theater play for most troubled kids in a couple of suburbs of Stockholm, Rinkeby and Tensta. So there was like a famous boxer player who wanted to make a play with these craziest kids in this certain suburb. And I went there to do a casting for another movie, so I met a couple of guys, and he was there. So it was very good initiative of this famous Swedish boxer, brilliant boxer guy, who wanted to make a play with the crazy kids, you know.
And then you saw him, and then you thought.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah, and then we had a lot of castings. We met a couple of times. We make a lot of text filmings, and so you could tell he's the guy. He never went to any school, you know, but he's just.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing, and he switches so good between being the nice guy and being the scary.
Yeah.
Dude. I had to say that nicely. Scary dude. Yeah. But you see that he has a good heart somewhere, and he searches for that.
Yes.
And because he co-wrote it also, was he also your ticket to these neighborhoods and to this slang and to this way of life? Because how did you research that?
Yes, all the definitely. I used to live in suburb as well, but not that I didn't grow up there. But definitely, you get all this small. It's very useful to work. The best thing is to write about things you know, of course, but definitely, yeah.
And
a lot of help.
did you already? Did the people from those suburbs saw it? The movie.
Now this is the first time they say finally a Swedish movie which tells the truth and that don't go takes angles and sides. It's like that's how it is, and it's the first time in Swedish film in Sweden scenes like Fucking Normal of made by Lukas Moodysson in end of 90s that people in all ages, all backgrounds meet together in cinemas and watch it together. So even suburban kids meets 70 years old Swedes in the same cinemas and watch a movie together. The movie has it's from 11 up to 111. Yeah. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and like you just said, the film has it says something about our society, and it's in other countries the same, I think, as in Sweden. What do you hope for these coming years for Swedish society?
Now we had a lot of mailing. We had some terrible stuff going on in Malmö for like last weeks, and that reaction was Hustler's Diary should be screened for everybody in Malmö to understand, to see how these two separate words work and how they are, to understand each other, because we are quite scared of each other sometimes. Yeah. And so the reactions were just crazy. It's like more like we should go out and put screens everywhere in town and just screen it for people. Now we have a distribution, so it's a kind of, distributors don't like that kind of idea, screening film for free, but hopefully soon we will do that. And I hope, I know I believe in things, and I know that changes can be made. We don't have any problems. Human beings in the ground are not mean. You get born very curious. When you're a little kid, you're very curious. You're very you're positive. You think that things will be solved. When you're a teenager, that's the same thing there. You think you have a future. Something good will happen. You are the guy. You are the one chosen. Something good is going to happen to you. So humans are not rotten inside. I believe in that. It's just a way of communication, it's just some people ends up wrong in the end, but we are good. We can make it. I mean, so what I mean, I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, I think you did. I think that's it's already there, and let's hope that we will see that in everybody for those coming years. Yeah. What are your current projects?
Projects.
Are you working on a new film?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. We always have new stuff going on, but some never get made. It's financing stuff.
Is it easier the more films you do, and now you made a feature? Does it make it easier?
I would say it's quite easy. It seems right now, I'm cool. I think it's easier. Yeah, definitely.
What have you learned from this project that you can take with you?
Maybe it's more. Of course, you always learn. It's a millions of small decisions in every scene, in every day of shooting, every day of editing, every day of writing. So it's a lot of ways you need to take. It's like Blood's Odra. I don't know this in English. Maybe it's the same.
The veins.
Veins, you can take wrong and then you end up there, or you end up in the brain. The more what I learned is more that to confirm what I already knew, but and it's more like believe in what you do and do it on your way, because that's the only way in the end it will get this extra 10%, or but that everybody know that, but it's still sometimes difficult to follow the road and follow the line, like I yesterday said about this Somalian thing.
Yeah, the Somalian joke in the
Yes, we have a
film.
Somalian joke. And it's so bad to joke about these things, but that's the other way is true as well. So
Because you said yesterday that you were doubting to use the Somali joke.
yeah,
You wanted to
so we
replace
had
it.
we had it first like in the movie, and and then uh, and then I tried to when we were shooting. So first we had it in a movie. When we were shooting, I thought like, this maybe is too much, you know. People might react very wrong, and even the actors in the scene said maybe it's a little bit too much, and then I changed it, and I changed for Somalians. I took drugs addicts. What's it called?
Yeah, drug addict.
Drunk.
Yeah.
And then my line producer, he is a Somalian who works with us, Abdi Abukar, and he said he just came into the set and was like really almost pissed off, and he was shaking in his voice, and you could see he was serious, you know, and even you hear and you see he means what he says, and he said, why did you change this about Somalians? I said, well, isn't that a little bit too much, you know? He said, no, that's why I work with this movie. Is this true? You don't know, I'm Somalian. I get always shit. We always get shit because we are Somalians, we are black. We get shit from everybody, you know. This is very important to tell. And then I changed it back. So you need to have a good crew as well,
Yeah.
because you can't make movie alone. It's impossible. You really need to have good people around
No,
you.
so the advice would be to stick to your path, to your plan, and have people around you who keep you focused.
Yeah, take people. Try to have people around you who are good for you, like positive energy and good people.
Good people. Thank you very much. Thanks
you.
for your advice.
Thank you. I talk too much, you know. I told you it's like a radio going on.